get a grip. This stupid video I just showed you. I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show. It's donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. Saturday Night Live. Looks like it took us no time at all to acquire some Ohio State people. They're already here. Some of them are making sense. Some of them are just causing trouble. But we're going to do the best we can. The championship game is set. And it is Notre Dame and Ohio State. So here's what I want to do tonight. I'm going to throw it to you guys in the chats. Throw it to you guys in the calls. We could go wherever you want to go. If you want to do a little hybrid and you want to enjoy the Penn State win a little bit, talk a little bit about that, and then transition into whatever's coming next with Ohio State, I think that would be a really good blend. I think it'd be a really good blend. So I'm happy to take this wherever you guys want to go. We got a bunch of callers already. I don't know if Omar's here or not. We're going to try and do the 5-minute thing and see where people want to go. We're in some unprecedented times. This is all a bit of a blur to me. It's all, Tom Frowley, how you doing? It is, it's all a little bit of a blur. This run is, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. And so let's go over all this stuff. I see some of the Buckeye fans are being nice about things. Some of them aren't. It is what it is, man. This is just going to be a long next week. It's going to be a long next week. Ronald McDonald is here. I can always count on you for some fries and negativity. All right, let's get into this. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish. Always Irishing. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. I'm only 400 behind. I'm catching up. Audio only. Anywhere you want it, you could get it. Call in lines. You know them. 312-988-15. Dialed up. Tell Uncle Johnny all you've heard and seen. Oh, man, you lost to Northern Illinois. Aren't we just so far past that point? Like, aren't we just so far past that point where it's like you lost to Northern Illinois and you got dog walked by Michigan for how many years in a row? And then what happened after that? You turned it on and you won all your games. What happened after Northern? You turned it on and you won all your games. I'm just saying. Oh, this is going to be a long week. You got to pick your battles when you're dealing with this. You got to pick your battles, man. Oh, boy. This is going to be a long week. Notre Dame Fighting Irish by SI. Read all about it. Patreon.com/alwaysirish. Promo code, capital letters, NDNATTY. ND Natty. Get half off the Patreon for the month. We want to bring as many people in for this championship ride as we can. And we'll go from there. Yeah, Craig. Good to see you, Craig. Dude, man, this is going to be a long week. I am really I'm going to try and keep it all together here. Keep it straight and pick my battles. This is going to be really interesting. Oh, man. Okay. Let's do a couple of these chats and we'll go from there. I want to ask you guys this. First, I'm going to just put this out. Does anyone else question that play out wide on the goal line when you're 3 feet away from tying the game and Texas puts themselves in a position to lose 7 yards? Some people were saying they don't have a problem with that. And if it's blocked up, fine, that's a touchdown or whatever. I really struggle with that. I really do struggle with that. Listen, I understand Ohio State is good up the middle and all that. I totally get all that. When I'm in that situation and I have 1 yard to go, Tyler, good. Thanks for being here, man. Representing the Irish in the state of Washington. We don't get too much of that. Thanks for being here. Because they're saying you can't run it up the middle against Ohio State. Their interior strong. If I understand all that, your interior being strong is different than there's no way if you run it 4 times from 3 feet away that you can't get in. I just had a problem with it. I would almost rather, if I'm a Texas fan, I would have almost rather try to pass. And if it's not open, the quarterback falls forward or just throws it 5 rows up and you don't lose 7 yards. You could have done different things. If you're telling me you don't want to try and run it from the 1, fine. I'm fine with that. I would have done some pass play or something with the option to burn it or throw it away or something where it's not the only thing that could go wrong there is a turnover or a big loss. I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. And here's the other thing. It's like, oh, Erica, how are you? God bless you. It's like, well, you can't run it on them inside or whatever. It's the iron curtain, the steel sheet, whatever you want to call it, a concrete wall, bro. If you have 4 chances from 3 feet away to tie the game for a chance to play in the national championship, and you have 4 plays to do it, and you can't get one of them 3 feet, you don't deserve to be in the championship anyways. You don't deserve to be in the championship anyways. I understand that Ohio State's good up the middle. That I am not taking a chance to lose 7 yards. I'm just not doing it. Ronald's saying the point spread's 12.5. I saw 9.5. So anyway, some people are going to agree with me. Some people are not going to agree with me. I would have ran it 4 times from the 1 or run it and fake a run and then throw it. And if nobody's open, burn it, whatever, but you're not losing 7 yards. I had a real problem with that. I just did. So it's going to end up being obviously a 14-point swing. And now it's Notre Dame and Ohio State. And the narrative for me, callers, I'm coming to you. That's my fame. I'm going to get a t-shirt. Callers, I'm coming to you. Here's the narrative. Everyone is probably going to be picking Ohio State. And they've looked like the most dominant team in the playoff. Nobody's going to deny that. Got on a roll after Michigan. That cranked them up, whatever. Good for them. They did a great job through the playoff. And so I think the narrative's going to be everybody's going to be on Ohio State. Everybody's going to cite everything, how good they've looked in the postseason. They're a lot healthier than Notre Dame, and they have literally the best roster money could buy. Okay? And that's not a shot. It's legal. That's what it is. That's not a shot of any kind. It's just a fact. For all those reasons, everybody's going to be on Ohio State. Everybody's going to be on Ohio State. I think that's fine. And it probably should be that way, given all of this stuff. Dr. John, good to see you. I don't mind it at all. In this situation with the injury stuff piling up on Notre Dame and all this stuff and whatever, I think it's totally, I love the idea. Everybody be on Ohio State. Just let everyone, every talking head, let them all be Ohio State, Ohio State, Ohio State, Ohio State. Let them do it. Put all the pressure on Ryan Day, put all the pressure on their side. And then Notre Dame can play that underdog role. And I think it's justified. I'm not going to sit here and be like, why isn't Notre Dame favored? I am not blind to the fact of Notre Dame's injury situation, how good Ohio State's looked and all their talent. Okay. So given this, go ahead and let all of that stuff be on Ryan Day and Ohio State to finish this thing off and whatever. And nobody's going to give Notre Dame a chance and whatever. Every talking head on ESPN is going to pick against them, whatever. So be it. Notre Dame plays up the underdog role. And here's the ultimate. If this truly is meant to be this Notre Dame whole comeback from Northern Illinois and all this stuff. If it really is going to be that, it is the ultimate redemption story that a documentary and a 30 for 30 is going to be written about. This is absolutely 100% not true, Commander. I'll get there in a minute. You're 100% completely wrong about that. What you just said. I'll get to it in a minute. If this is all really, no matter if Notre Dame has 50 guys if Notre Dame's got a bunch of Civil War injuries and they're amputating everybody's legs and half the team's in the hospital and everything else, the ultimate redemption story would be Notre Dame somehow finds a way to beat Ohio State, and it all comes full circle. Marcus Freeman, player, Big Ten linebacker at Ohio State. Okay, think about this. You got the first Ohio State game at the Horseshoe, where it was Freeman's first game as a head coach. He had a quarterback making his first start in the Horseshoe. Notre Dame battled. They didn't have enough. They played good defense, couldn't score enough. You lost the game. Then you have last year's absolute nightmare finish for Notre Dame. Absolute nightmare finish for Notre Dame. The Marcus 10-man thing and all that, everything that went wrong there. Then you have the embarrassment of the Northern Illinois situation. The ultimate redemption story, if this truly is meant to be, Notre Dame's going to find a way. And I don't know what that looks like. Actually, I do know how that looks like. I'm going to put out a video in a couple days saying, 5 different things Notre Dame could do to win this game or whatever. I mean, let me get it clear, Ohio State people, before you jump my bones 5 minutes into the show. You should be favored. I completely understand why you're favored. I have no problem with that at all. But what I've been saying is, and I'm going to say it again, football games are played on a field and not a recruiting database for a reason. The best team that's the healthiest and has the most talent does not win every single football game. If they did, there's no reason to play any football game. You just pull up the roster and go, this team has more talent than that team. Why play the game? They get a W. That's all I'm saying. Now, I'm not out here saying Notre Dame's going to blow them out by 30. Go Notre Dame. I'm not saying any of that. I am simply saying games are played on a field and not a recruiting database for a damn reason. Okay? And so I am not about to sit here and just roll over and hand the trophy to Ryan Day and his Velcro beard just because Notre Dame's beat up and they're a big underdog. I'm not going to do it, man. You made it this far and you got one more game to go. Make some plays and make history. I don't know. Make some plays and make history. So I'm actually liking the fact now that it's all going to be on Ohio State. And if they deliver, they deliver. And you know what else? If Ohio State and Ryan Day deliver and finish this off, you could argue that's probably what should happen with that roster. And it's not going to be like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? It's going to be like, wow, they have an incredibly great roster and they're a lot healthier than Notre Dame. And that team won. That wouldn't shock anybody. All I'm saying is, if you're gonna count Notre Dame out now, did you not watch the playoff game? It's just anybody that's I've already seen some Notre Dame people oh, we're gonna lose this one, blah blah blah. Whatever, man. If you're gonna give Notre Dame no chance after all they've been through, you're gonna not give them a chance. That's so short-sighted, man. Anything can happen in one game. This is not the NBA Finals where you have 7 games and the better team usually wins over a 7-game span or whatever. It's one game. Anything can happen in one game. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm wondering if Ryan Day is going to try and fight Lou Holtz before or after this game. I don't know. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's good. Okay, I got a bunch of calls already. So let me get through the chats and then we'll give it to the calls. And then I'm going to get out of here a little before 10 o'clock because I'm going to jump over to Patreon and we're going to set up the defensive film, and we're going to have Goolsby. He's going to go through all the defensive plays against Penn State and break all that down. So this will be a good night. And then by midnight or so, probably, or 1, you guys will have, you guys are going to have the all 22 defensive film. And then Jared Clark and Michael do the offensive film for Patreon, probably tomorrow night or Sunday. So it's going to be interesting. Always Irish Senior, always Irish family. Let's enjoy this lead up to Atlanta. It's been a long time. Go Irish. This is what it's all about. Indeed it is. Marcus Freeman turned 39. I'm telling you, happy birthday. Wow, what a birthday gift, what he's gotten. All right, let's go through. I highlighted a couple chats, and then we'll give it to the calls after that. Here we go. It's a rough start. Jason Williams. We coming gun give you what ask for Jeremiah Love. I don't know what that means. We're off to a bad start. You're coming for Jeremiah Love. We coming gonna gun give you what ask for. I don't even know what that means. We are 0 for 1 with Ohio State tweets or replies or whatever comments. We're 0 for 1. Bad start. You know what's good though? You see these buck nuts, these Buckeye things. Have you ever had those Buckeye, like, I think they're a Christmas dessert or something, bro? Dude, have you ever had those? It's peanut butter and chocolate. I can't even be mad that I saw that. I can't even be mad that I saw that. Like, those are so good. Have you had their peanut butter dipped in chocolate? Oh, baby. Hopefully Leonard got all of his interceptions out of his system. I thought of that. I certainly hope so. Goolsby actually did a video on Patreon about that. Like, get them all out of the way. Get it out of the way. 574 Kevin. Ohio State didn't look so tough against Texas. Penn State looked tougher than both of them this week. I'm just telling you, man. I'm not counting Notre Dame out of anything. The way their resolve this year has earned me being like, yeah, they got a chance to win this game. I understand why Ohio State's a big favorite, but like their resolve and the way they've done the next man up thing and kept winning, it has me saying Notre Dame's got a chance. And I just think that's perfectly fair. Alberto, go Buckeyes. I'm a big fan of this channel. Love the great work, John. That part of this is a terrific message. Great to see the Irish fans spreading hate. Nothing makes me happier than living rent-free in the minds of Notre Dame fans. I have no idea what you're talking about. I absolutely have no idea what you're referencing. We're 0 for 2 with Buckeye comments. We've done 2, and I have no idea what either one of them are saying. We're off to a rough start, people. I don't know. We're off to a weird, rough start. I appreciate you saying you love the channel. Spreading the hate, I have no idea what that means. You haven't seen any hatred from me. I have no idea what you're talking about. We are 0 for 2 when I try and put an Ohio State thing up. I don't know what's going on. Coach Freeman's been doing a remarkable job. I wouldn't be shocked if ND wins title, but but it would be shocking after week 2. I think that's fair. I do like this very much. Much respect and love to you guys. I'm happy that our team's 2 Midwestern blue bloods playing for the Natty, not stupid SEC. I believe that should be something we can all agree on in both of these fan bases. It's really nice to see 2 hard-nosed, old-school, brand-name helmets, Northern cold weather football. It's really, really awesome to see those be the 2 teams that are in this moment. I really do love it. David, hopefully Lou Holtz doesn't say anything to motivate Ryan Day. Nobody's going to pick ND, and I'm fine with that. That's the way I'm looking at it, too. Like, go ahead and count them out, man. Everybody's been doing it all year, so go for it. Go for it. All in on Freeman. I have no doubts or questions. Good job. I mean, he's proven that whatever vibe he's trying to put out there in the program is taking root in it, and that works. Whatever that motivation, messaging, whatever they're doing is working. The question simply, can they get it over the hump and win one more game with the beat-up roster? So, I mean, it just comes down to that. But I think questions about is Freeman turned a corner? What's the status of the program under Freeman? Like, are the roots strong? Is the foundation strong? I don't believe there's any doubt about that. Hope Freeman doesn't throw the game to the Buckeyes like he did last round. Yeah, I'm sure that was intentional for sure. Shane Gillis is a legend. I will forever call Nick Saban Alabama Jones. Yeah. And it turns out $2 holler from Tony. Thanks a lot. Turns out Shane Gillis is good for business. I think that clip has 35,000 views, literally 35,000 in the last day and a half. Shane Gillis is good for business. Jacob Dunn, $5 holler. Everybody's acted like ND hasn't led OSU in the second half in each of the last 2 games. They would argue, Jacob, I appreciate that. They would argue this is a totally different team. This is a different ball game. This team is rolling. They're on a different level. They're peaking at the right time in the playoff. Like, that's what they will say as a comeback to that. And some of that's probably fair. Tony, $5 holler. Love you, buddy. It was great talking to you the other night. Commander Luke. Commander Luke. John loves Freeman more than Notre Dame football. I'm not like that. You actually have this completely backwards. You have this entire thing upside down and backwards. All through the Kelly era, when I was ripping Brian Kelly, what I said is, I value what is best for Notre Dame football always way more than any personal allegiances I have to any Notre Dame coach or player. That's always been my position. My number one thing is always what is best for the Notre Dame football program. That thought always trumps any feelings I have, good or bad, towards any individual player or coach. It is always about what is best for this program. And it was clear to me, even when Brian Kelly was still the coach, that Marcus Freeman was what was best for this program. So you are right. I do love Marcus Freeman, but it's for the wrong reasons. I love him because he is what's best for this program right now, not the other way around. And I believe the results are already indicating that. Marcus Freeman has taken this program further in terms of national credibility in 2 weeks than everybody's taken the program in 3 decades. That's a big deal. That's a big deal to me. But Commander, you got it all backwards. My driving force and everything I think about is what is best for the program. And Marcus Freeman has been that for a long time, even when he wasn't even the head coach yet. Hummus Hero. I agree we should all should, for the moment, appreciate that these 2 teams single-handedly destroyed the SEC media narrative. Yeah, seriously, if there's anything we can agree on, it would be that, and we're all glad Michigan isn't good this year. Like, so I think we all have that. We all have that on our side. Adam, it's good to talk to you. Adam mentioned the Cope coming out of LSU. Man, it's hilarious. Now the argument is, well, if Brian Kelly had NIL available to him at Notre Dame, it would have been a totally different thing. So it's not fair to judge it now or whatever. But whoa. Wait a second, though. When Brian Kelly left Notre Dame, he literally got up there and said he needs to go somewhere where they value football and are going to give him the resources to win football games. So which is it? Which is it? It's absolutely hilarious watching them all just turn themselves into knots. That whole media contingent at LSU doing everything they can to rationalize all of this. It's just got to absolutely drive them nuts seeing Notre Dame succeed while they'll be in the whatever they were in, the Texas Bowl or whatever they were in. I love it, love it, love it. Couple more chats, then we're going to go to the calls. $5 holler from Theodore. Guys, the blueprint is out there. Let's just follow the Michigan game plan to beat the Buckeyes. ND by a million. Ryan Day dyes his beard like a goof. Listen, Ohio State fans, somebody's got to pull that guy aside and get him a stylist or something, man. It just bothers me the way that beard is painted. It's not even that it's painted that bothers me. It's how it's done that bothers me. I just can't. There's something about that beard. I just can't. I can't respect the way that beard looks. It isn't that it's dyed. It's that it's dyed bad. It looks like AstroTurf glued to his face. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. $5 holler Mikey pulls. Yo, John. Good morning. Wait, I'm lit. Year 3 magic. 3rd time's charm against Ohio State. Brother, we're 9 days from national championship. Listen, That's the narrative, man. Can Marcus Freeman complete the total and complete Ohio State redemption tour from All-American linebacker playing for them, 2 tough losses against them, and come back and get the biggest one yet on the 3rd try? That is the narrative, man. That's it. That's going to be the narrative. That should be the narrative, and that's it from the Notre Dame side. $10 holler from the Rambling Ryan. I lost half my stuff too, and was one of the first to see the Eaton fire. Had I arrived earlier, I wouldn't have seen it until it was too late. I needed that win. Man, our thoughts are with you, man. That's wild stuff. I hope everybody, all your people and things are safe. $2 holler from Troy. Do you think the Notre Dame defense can pull what Texas did? I'm not counting them out. I'm just telling you guys, it would just be unfair to count Notre Dame out in this situation, man. They just keep fighting and everything. And it's like they keep fighting and succeeding. And no matter how many personnel losses, they just keep winning and whatever. But then now I'm just supposed to roll over and hand Ryan Day the trophy? Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense, man. And Ohio State people, I don't know why you're acting like you blew these guys out and dominated the whole game either. Like, people say Notre Dame has an arrogance. Why are you acting like you blew them out? They were 3 feet from tying the game and fumbled instead, and it was a 14-point swing, and I think a bad play call that caused this problem. Like, I don't know. Whatever. John, it's fair to count ND out. Why, Lee? Why? I'm not predicting Notre Dame in a shutout 30-point victory, but why would you say that it's fair to count Notre Dame out in this moment? I'm not going to do it. Like, this team just fights, man. This team just fights. And I'm not going to claim they have more talent than Ohio State. I'm not going to claim they dominated the playoff the way Ohio State. I'm not claiming any of that. I'm just saying I'm not counting Notre Dame out. Dude, this is the stupidest logic, dude. I do not mind Ohio State fans being here, but your logic is that of a Neanderthal that is not evolved. I have no problem at all with Ohio State people being in here, but bring some real logic. Northern Illinois, enough said. You are not smart. You are a Neanderthal typing. There's no logic to that statement. They've won what? 13 games in a row since Northern Illinois knocked off the SEC champ but we're gonna go back to Northern Illinois and hold it against them. That's like me saying Ohio State has no chance because they lost to Michigan. I would never say that because I'm not stupid. It's just I have no problem with Ohio State people being in here, but you gotta bring an argument or bring logic. I can't understand it. That's so they go on a 13-game. They go on like a 13-game winning streak, do all this, and we're going to whatever, man. It is, man, I just, Johnny, keep that same energy for after the game. I'll be back. Kent, you know I love you, man. You know I love you. I'm not including you in this, Kent. You guys live in your own reality. Like, we've been in this show 20 minutes or whatever. You guys live in your own reality. You are just making up whatever you want and convincing yourself it's true. It's unbelievable. Keep that same energy. The energy I'm keeping is I'm giving Notre Dame a chance to play Ohio State really tough. That is the energy. You guys are really simple-minded with this. You truly are disappointing me so far. Kent, I'm not including you. 470, what's going on? Hello? Yep, you're on.
Hey, Uncle Johnny, this is your boy Tony down in Atlanta. Third time, long time. It's been a year.
What's going on, man? Yeah, it is a long time. What's going on?
Yeah. I'm still in shock from the win the other night. The last time, I called in last year we beat Southern Cal. But before that, if you recall, and I know you talked to a lot of people, but I'm married to a Buckeye, and I lost the bet. I had to wear the Buckeye shirt to church on Sunday.
Ooh.
Well, tomorrow I'm wearing my Notre Dame shirt, and I'm going to be walking a little proud. But I'm just excited. I feel like your show needs to be sponsored by Paxil, Tums, Eloquist, and all your favorite boozes you can think of.
Telling you, dude.
Last couple of weeks have been going.
I need an NIL deal with Pepto-Bismol. You have no idea.
Right, but I got to premise this thing. I got to shout out to heaven for Grandpa Tony for bringing us with Frank Leahy and bringing the cult of Notre Dame, which is a good thing, to the family. My dad just turned 76. He's an only child, and spread it onto his boys, me, Nick, and Drew, who actually live in the Columbus, Ohio area, actually. But I'm so excited. Those boys, our boys on the other day, I'm so screwed up with the days, John. I can't keep up with it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, Angeli was a call to the bullpen. I was just praying to God he got his 3 points down there, and he set us up even with a couple sacks. But we got on the board. I don't know, man. Like this coin flip at the beginning of the game is sending us momentum in the last two games. Starting us off, before the halftime, and then going into the second half, setting us up for points. Jeremiah Love, on one leg.
Yep.
Getting in the end zone. You got Williams. You got House. It's an all-out effort. And these guys are special. And, I just want to thank you for your show. You give us fans from all over the country and all over the world a platform to vent and be one. And if you want to talk about a movie, this thing I think could be just as good as the Miracle on Ice team, because Freeman had these guys, the buy-in and the culture, spending Christmas together, a la Herb Brooks in the 1980 Miracle on Ice team. And if we come back and beat Ohio State for the Natty, this is going to be a blockbuster movie. You can't write a script better than this.
Yep, that's what the narrative's going to be. So what do you think of this matchup? When I saw today Notre Dame started out as a 9.5-point dog, I would like to know what you think about that and how you think Notre Dame can find a victory here. What do you think?
Well, I feel like, we're playing Big Brother. They say it's Ohio State versus the world, but right now it's Notre Dame versus the world. I'm loving every bit of it because we've been the dog the whole time. And, ESPN hates us. Feinbaum, he couldn't even make water boy for his varsity football team probably. So he's got, I don't care what that guy's got to say. I don't care what Cam Newton's got to say.
Yeah.
I want to be the dog. These guys, they go so far in depth on the team, and they're stepping up every week. These guys need Purple Hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, man, it is really, and that's why I refuse to count them out, man. I acknowledge the talent on Ohio State's roster. I acknowledge the role they've been on through the playoffs. I acknowledge all of that. It's just, I'm not counting Notre Dame out until the clock hits zero and they've lost, because they've earned that from me, from what they've done this year. They haven't lost since first week of September, longest winning streak in the country. And I give them a shot, man. I don't think that's crazy. That's how I think about it.
If they can play like they did against Georgia, and just hard, that's another thing. I'm just excited the whole SEC sucking their thumb with the whole grit-eating nation right now watching us play.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if they come out there hard-nosed and force some turnovers, that's huge. Obviously on the offensive side, they got to be smart and not turn it over. But watching the post game with Riley Leonard, he acknowledged it, and things happen, and they're going to clean it up, I hope. And I'm just very hopeful.
Yeah,
really
dude,
excited. I've been excited since in 1988 when I was 9 years old.
Yeah, it is. It's a great moment, man. And somebody just put in the chat, Ohio State would probably win if you just looking on paper, win this game 9 out of 10 times. All you need is that one. Like, I'm just saying, anything could happen in a football game, man. You're in the championship. You just need a couple things to happen, and you're right in it late in the game. Like, I am not going to sit here and get backed into a corner and act like this is just a done deal already. I'm not going to do it. And if the Ohio State people want to all make it that way, you're adding pressure on yourselves. Go ahead. Have all that. Have all of that for the next week. You can have it. I don't care. Have it.
Right. This is not the 2012 team by any means at all. And I think we got to get past that. I know it gets brought up a lot. I've seen it in the media, but no, this is a new era. Freeman's created a new culture. I want all the bad thoughts from BK and all that stuff out of there. This is refreshing. He's obviously made these guys remember what happened week 2. They've come out of that, and they're finding a way. They're going to do it against Ohio State. Go Irish.
Oh man, I really hope so. Hey, thanks a lot for the donation and for the call, buddy. I really appreciate it. Chat's moving fast. Let me try and catch up. I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying to keep up. $2 holler from Tony. I vacated the memory of BK, like his wins. New era. $2 holler from the Philly special. No reason. Just love the show. I love you guys, Phil. You guys are great. $2 holler from Daniel Wade. Thanks for sharing the Dove story. Man, I didn't know whether people thought I was crazy for that or appreciated it, but that's what was in my brain and my heart at the time. $10 holler. Neanderthal, John? The phrase you were looking for is low IQ. If ever there was a good time for WPP to pull that one out. Low IQ feels like it's forever. Neanderthal, I'm at least open to like evolution kicking in at some point. I have no problem at all with Ohio State people being here, but you got to make sense with what you're saying. And so far, some of it has not made sense, or you're putting positions on me that I've never made. So we're just off to a rocky start. $2 holler. Erica just asked me who Bucknut is. I don't know, man. I don't know. Lee says, Johnny, it's going to be more embarrassment in the Natty for you. Remember, you guys always think something is different with ND until it's not. Lee, my pushback to that would be, for the last 30 years until the last few weeks, Notre Dame has not won a postseason game that's mattered. So, yeah, things are different now. Marcus Freeman's won more respect garnering games in the last 2 weeks than any Notre Dame coach has done in 30 years. So yes, that's a little different. And I think that's completely fair. Kent, I love you, man. No, they are disappointing me, bro. You guys are showing no football intellect. Notre Dame defense is top 2. Denbrock a wizard. The only thing that'll stop Notre Dame is injuries and Riley Leonard. Kent, you're loyal, man. And you're loyal. You're always here, man. Control your people, Kent. ND Fitz. Ohio State, most talented team in the country by far. We might lose 9 out of 10, but you only need one. What did Lou Alt say in between fighting Ryan Day in a back alley? What did he say? You don't got to be better than the team overall. You just got to be better, 1 point better than them that night, and you're champions. I don't know. I'm just saying. Theodore, $5 holler. Ryan Day definitely has iron covers on his golf clubs. My buddy caddy for him at French Lick. I've never met a good golfer that has iron covers. And I worked in a country club for 8 summers, all through high school, and then college summers, worked at a country club. I've never seen a good golfer that has iron covers. For whatever reason, it's not a thing. If I see somebody with iron covers, I know they're not good, and they probably play like 3 times a year. It's amazing. It really is amazing. $5 holler, one more. You got it. The Wells Lamont player of the game is Reggie Brooks, who had the hot hand today. 10 days with this staff, we showing up. Telling you, those guys were a lot sicker with the flu than I think anybody let on. So maybe that explains why it took them a half to wake up. I don't know. John Simpson, $10 holler. Let the haters hate. This team finds a way. This team keeps finding a way, and I'm just not going to act like they can't do it one more time. Doesn't mean I think it's likely. Like, the Ohio State people are going to twist everything I say. It doesn't mean it's likely. It doesn't mean I'm predicting Notre Dame to smash Ohio State out. I'm just saying I'm giving the guys a chance because they have earned that with what they've done this year. Fair. Philly special. Is Shane on hold? Shane's good for business, man. He can call whenever he wants. $5 holler from the commander. Here's to the final game of 24th season and being in it. Long live always Irish. I like that, commander. That's very well said. Thank you. $5 holler from the Nash. Cash with the Nash with the cash. ND has a serious chip on their shoulder from September 23rd of last year. Plus, OSU will come in cocky with everybody saying they already won the game. Like, it's fine. Every talking head's going to be on Ohio State for every common reason you could think of. And that's probably fair. And I don't mind that position from Notre Dame heading into this moment. I really don't. Mike, $5 holler. John, I'm at the Texas Roadhouse having a cold Miller Lite in your honor. Thanks for all the content. Hey, I appreciate that. You know what, you guys? I'm going to say this right now. Daniel Wade, revenge coming. It's the ultimate redemption tour. These days, with all the inflation and everything else going on, Texas Roadhouse, man, that is one of the better places to go get a big filling like family meal and not break the bank. It's actually pretty affordable and it's better than like fast food. Like I'm starting to think Roadhouse is the way to go. You ever go to the Roadhouse and get yourself some of them buns with that cinnamon butter? Ooh! Oh, that cinnamon butter. Even Johnny likes that. Oh, baby, with that cinnamon. Woo, baby. Texas Roadhouse still open? Heck yeah, they're open. That place is popping every time you drive by, man. And if you do like an old, like the retired people and go before 5 o'clock or something, you get like 20% off your meal. What a deal. What a deal. Do I even eat steak? I eat the steak, but I'm not getting a bunch of weird. They always ask, oh, John, do you want mushrooms on your steak? What do I look like? Some sort of psycho? Why would I want mushrooms on my steak? I don't even know what that means. If you do that, I better be seeing unicorns and rainbows and stars in an hour. What do you mean, do I want a mushroom on my steak? Are you out of your mind? Unbelievable with this steak stuff. Unbelievable. Oh, we're off to the races this time. Chicago's very own Tom Frawley. Pistol Pete, I see you. What's going on? Connor, I see you. What's going on, Tom?
Hey, John, I just want to I want to put things in perspective tonight. So, not just Notre Dame, but college football. I love college football, and I love the history of college football.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I've seen about Ohio State fans, they are the most insufferable fan base ever. My first experience, I saw them play Illinois in Champaign when I was a freshman in high school. And they were on their way to the Rose Bowl that year, and it was a November game, and they beat the dog snot out of Illinois, who I think only won 2 or 3 games that year. And I was sitting real close to those fans, and it's the first time I ever saw them. And subsequent to that, every time I've ever experienced them, at Ann Arbor, at U of I, at Michigan State, I've seen them play. They're brutal. And then when they started playing Notre Dame again in 1995, I took it to another level of hate. If we just look at the game and the football and as what it is, and much respect has to go to Ohio State as a football team.
Yep.
Since 1993, they're the second most winningest program in the country behind Alabama. I mean, you're in and you're out. They're there, and they should be there because Ohio is a recruiting hotbed. It gets overlooked because of the skill position players that come from other regions of the country, but and they get the best talent out of that state every year. They should be the tops, but the trash and the way the personal attacks just since the end of the game against Texas, I started seeing the anti-Notre Dame stuff. I mean, they didn't even celebrate their victory over Texas before they started breaking our chops. So we must be renting space in our head.
Yeah.
And they are terrible. So I had a friend of mine offer me tickets to the ball game, and he said, just pay for your airfare and we'll get down there. I said, you know what? Respectfully, give it to somebody else because I don't want to be anywhere near those people.
Yeah.
especially in a national championship game.
It
Yeah.
is, man, I kind of forgot,
and-
Tom. It's been a long time, but I'm recognizing some of these trolls that are coming after me now. It's really, I remember some of these names from the build-up from last year and the fallout after we blew the game.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm seeing a lot of the same names, and it's like, man, they're back, baby. They're back. So, Tom, the only way to deal with it is to just go win the game, man. That's the only way to do it. The only thing you're ever going to do. That's the only way you're ever going to win that battle is to just beat them on the field. That's it.
And the thing that irritates me is the fact that there's one guy on the chat tonight, the Ohio State Buckeyes. He says, well, Notre Dame hasn't beaten Ohio State since, in 89 years. Well, we've only played 6 times since 1936. Okay, that's number one. I'd have loved to play Ohio State in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. And into the 70s, even with Woody Hayes' team. But you know what? Woody Hayes would never put them on the schedule. You know that story, right? And then any time there was kids from Ohio, especially the kids out of the Catholic schools that were getting recruited, he would call up Parsegian and tell him, listen, or he would tell these kids, hey, you know what? You can go ahead and go to Notre Dame, but don't go to Michigan. Because remember, Michigan used to get a lot of Ohio talent as well. They have such an inferiority complex when they don't need to be, but yet they don't. And then when they start the anti-Catholic stuff, it's a football game. And I've experienced it when they threw rosary beads at me in Columbus in 1995. They are an insufferable fan base, and as much as great as they are in football, they have to own up to being the biggest assholes. And I've seen a lot of fan bases, John. So I just wanted to get that off my chest, and I hope I'm irritating the piss out of them that are listening to this show, because that's what you are. They should learn how to win with class and not jump. What? You don't have anything better to do but to jump on an Always Irish podcast and stir shit?
Tom, don't let them get to you, buddy. We're going to mind our own business, and we're just going to line up, and we're going to try and play a good football game. Don't let them get to you. Don't let them get to you, Tom. But, man, I really do.
You know what the funny thing is? I'm pushing back on them because of the fact that they start this. Oh, well, everybody pays for players. Yeah, we understand how the transfer portal and the NIL money works. I get it. What's irritating them is that a former Ohio State Buckeye is the coach of Notre Dame. And we're back, baby. We're renting space inside their heads. And then, we're going to get killed. And the disrespect, with the point spread. I don't care about any of that. This is a different team. And you know what? They should be favored by 8.5 or 9 points.
Yeah.
With that squad, 15 5-star recruits on that roster.
Yeah.
Plus all the other stuff that they have. All the other great players are on that team. Yeah. But what they don't have, we have. And wouldn't it be just poetic justice? Notre Dame beats them in the national championship game, and then what are they going to say?
Yeah, it is, Tom. Tom, this is going to be a long week, baby. This is going to be a long week. Tom, I want you to enjoy
I want to shut them down.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Yeah. Do your research, and then call me back when we get into next week's shows and start breaking me down some.
I've watched every Ohio State game this year. I had a feeling that this might happen. Since the Louisville week, after we beat Louisville, I just had a feeling that we were on a collision course to see these guys in the playoffs. And instead of celebrating what a magnanimous game this should be and how great it is for college football, especially with two non-SEC teams going at each other.
Yeah,
these are true. They got to take everything to the gutter. They need to grow up. And you know what? Their comeuppance is coming on January 20th.
Tom.
And I can't wait.
I love you, Tom.
I'm going to win with class.
I love you,
I'm gonna
Tom.
win with class.
You
I love you too.
have a good one, Tom. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, buddy. I love you. Oh, Tom is one of a kind, man. Look at this. Therese Armstead. I remember this name because it's a name you don't see every day. I remember this name from the buildup of Ohio State last year. Notre Dame sucks. What are you gonna do next time? Rudy was offside. Like, I'm just telling you, man. You guys are just not as creative as you think you are, man. These are just some bad arguments being made. I'm just not impressed so far with what I'm seeing. I'm just not. Kent knows what's going on. They're tough, John. I'm in disbelief of my people. Arrogant shit talkers. I apologize on behalf of them. It's Saturday night, too, so they're still drunk from last night. Moonshine, to be exact. Kent, I trust you, man. I don't know about anybody else. I trust you. Theodore, $5 holler. Do you think we could bring an Indy flag to plant when we crush Ohio State? Maybe one of those Ohio troopers will be there to pepper spray the other team. Oh, boy. Look at this. Look at this. Ohio State, natty champs, loading. Yeah, just like Ryan Day's beard is still loading. I hate that thing. I do not like Ryan Day's beard, man. I'm not going to get over it. 402, welcome to the show.
Johnny, what's up, dude?
What's going on? Folks, it is the captain. The captain is here, Mr. Mike Goolsby. What's going on, man?
Oh, currently I'm doing this defensive film, and I figured I'd have your shrill voice on in the background. So, I'll be in and out. You know, that first half, John, against Penn State, it felt like a nightmare, right? It truly did.
Yep.
Like, oh, no.
Yep.
You know? But as I'm watching this, I'm just wrapping up the first half now. 2 long drives, like very long drives they had. A lot of late shifts and a lot of like tempo and a lot of quick snaps. Brother, we weren't aligned defensively a third of the time. So it's like, as bad as that felt, it's easily fixable going into an Ohio State, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's all I wanted to say. And yes, Tom Frawley, by the way, I love his calls.
Dude,
he's freaking spot on.
He is, Mike, he's the realest dude, man. Just think like old school Chicago Notre Dame guy, like the whole thing, like praying the rosary before the games. Like he is as real as it gets. I love that guy.
No, and I moved out of Chicago 12 years ago, and guys like Tom are the reason I missed that place.
Yeah,
you know?
he's a real one.
Southsiders.
Oh, he's a real one.
He's 100% spot on in terms of that Ohio State fan base. Yeah, they're awful people. Yeah, they're insufferable. They're awful people. Sure, you have a great team, but like, yeah, you're kind of rotten. So I'm gonna be at that game, John. Got tickets. Gonna do a tailgate down there. I'm just hoping, if I end up, in the clink, somebody better bail me out. Is all I gotta say.
Yeah, there you go, man. Make sure it's recorded for content. If you're going down, at least let's get some views off it. If we're doing it, I want to see your big ass in cuffs, and we're gonna get some clicks off of it at least.
Yeah, be like, world star.
yeah. And we'll play the Cops theme song, and there you are walking up, doing the perp walk, and we'll bail you out. Mike, what do you make? Last thing before I let you get back to the film, and then I'll join you later. What do you make of the opening line? You've been known to place a few bets on college football. I believe I saw 9.5 is where it opened. What do you make of the spread of what you've seen?
Yeah, I think it moved even 10 plus. You got to bet Notre Dame, and this might be one of those games where I bet a first half line versus the second half line. I mean, put it this way, man, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Me too. I get it.
Vegas is trying. Yeah, they're trying to entice bettors, and it's a huge line. But I get it. Quite frankly, I get it. It's just it's kind of like when you bet college football. I always talk about betting with like culture, in terms of how is the team constructed, and then you like Ohio State gets so much run, John, right? I mean, in terms of like the ESPNs of the world, they can't stop talking about this freaking team.
Yeah.
And they, and they've got star power, right? Will Howard, the running back, Travion Henderson, Jeremiah Smith, who of course walks on water, and he's a combination of Calvin Johnson, Jerry Rice, Chris Carter, Randy Moss, all rolled into one. I mean, he's the best wide receiver to ever step foot on a football field if you listen to Talking Heads. And people buy into that shit, John.
Yeah.
People buy into that stuff. They can't be stopped, So if you're Vegas, you're trying to entice those bettors. And it's like, oh, okay, well, Vegas is just a lot of confirmation bias. Vegas is already confirming what I've been taught to believe about this Ohio State team. I hope I'm making sense.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. And so, listen, man, I'm just in a position where Notre Dame's come so far. I'm giving them a chance to hang in this game and maybe have a chance late. And they have earned me to think they're capable of doing that even when they're banged up. And if they don't, they fall short. The better roster won, and nobody will be surprised. And if you pull it off, then we have a party. That's what I don't know, man.
No, I think the team's already made us proud. I think they've exceeded expectations. And again, nobody, nationally, John, media-wise, nobody's ever going to give the credence to the injuries that they ought to. So nobody knows what this team's been through unless you're a real Notre Dame fan, right? So I think they've exceeded expectations. I'm not building in a safety net, kind of a cushion to lose, but I think they're going to make us proud. I really do. And I go back to like Riley Leonard. It's like I have a really difficult time just not believing in that kid just because.
Yeah. I think that all makes sense. It's going to be a long week with a big build up here, and it's going to be exciting, man. You are where you want to be, and all you got to do is find a way to win one more game. That's it. You don't have to be the better team over the long haul. You don't have to do anything but find a way to grind out one more, and you make history. Mike, anything else? Thanks for joining me, and I'll be joining you in a little bit to break down that defensive film from Penn State.
I'll see you in a little bit. I'm going to keep listening. Thanks, John.
Beautiful. Have a good one. Thank you. Oh, man, I love Goolsby. He's going to the game. We're going to try and get him an Always Irish flag. I have a little tailgate there like my brother had in Miami for the last week. Couple more chats, and we'll go right back to the calls. Really appreciate Mike calling. $2 holler. I'm an Alabama fan, but I hate Ohio State. Dude, has anybody thought about how miserable Michigan people must be right now? They're going to lose this one no matter what happens. It doesn't matter which way it goes. Michigan people are going to be mad. I think that's something we could all like at least. $5 holler from Justin. Good show, John. I've been watching every show for a few years. This Always Irish community is amazing. You heard any news about the boys' injuries? Everybody's trying to get healthy. I've heard some news that I'm not able to report on here yet. So yeah, I've heard some news, but some of it I'm not able to talk about. $2 holler from Mark towards Goolsby's bail money. $2 holler. I can just see it now. Bad boys, what you gonna do when the linebacker Mike Goolsby runs from you and he's running away from the cops? Mike Goolsby is a big man. Who is it compared to me? But he's like 6'5", 260, all muscle. Mike Goolsby would be one of those guys on YouTube where they're tasing him and they're shooting him with those things and they're spiking him and he just gets stronger. I'm just picturing them shooting the taser thing at Mike, and he's taking them in with the cord and the little pokers, and he gains energy from it. He's like, give me more. And Goolsby gains strength. Every time they electrocute Goolsby, he gains more strength. He's flipping over cop cars in Atlanta, running down the road. Oh my God, I love this show. $2 holler from Knuckle Up. Before Texas-Ohio State game, Jay Love said he wanted to play Ohio State. Jay Love ain't afraid of anybody. He ain't afraid of anybody. I just hope his leg stays connected to his body. $5 holler from Walter. Your skater friend is on the line waiting for you. Orange Bowl is the game of the year. Go Irish. What is that song? He's just a skater boy or something. $10 holler from Nikki Dean. Last game of the year. Don't hold anything back there. Nikki Dean reached out to me before the game or before the show And he said him and the wife are going to the game. And I'm so happy for them. They deserve it. Those are two of the nicest people I've ever met. And they definitely deserve to be there. Definitely deserve to be there. 386, what's up?
What's going on, John? How you doing, bro?
There's just a lot going on, man, and a lot on my mind. I mean, you know how it is, man. There's just a lot going on. And then tell me if you felt this. There was the high of beating Penn State and riding that. And then you waited, and then you saw Ohio State win. And then I think the tone quickly shifted from celebrating the Penn State win to like getting serious about, okay, how in hell are you going to line up and beat this Ohio State roster as beat up as Notre Dame is? Do you have one more in them? Like, that's where my mind turned to the second that game ended. What do you think?
Yeah, no, for sure. I just want to give a quick shout out to your brother Andrew and his wife. Thanks again for the great hospitality at the tailgate. Obviously, you can hear my voice is shot. I had a great time. But
Yeah.
Thanks again for your family and what they provided. It was an amazing time.
Oh, thank you. And you know what? I want to say thank you.
Just one more shout out to my cousin Kyle. It's a year since he passed today, so he would love where we are right now, and he's pulling for us in the natty up there, man. He's with us. So
yeah, I want to thank you guys too. Everybody that made an effort to get to my brother's little tailgate and whatever, and have a little home away from home is what it ended up being like, with the always Irish flag, and we have our people there. And like, I really appreciated people wanted to meet up with the Ender and do that and make it feel like home away from home. And we had a good contingent of Irish fans there, and it means the world to me. So what do you make of this? How are you viewing the Ohio State game from the Notre Dame end? I like Notre Dame being the underdog, and every talking head's going to pick against them. I actually like that. I think that fits the Notre Dame narrative this year. I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah, I personally think it's a bad thing that they are pushing that narrative on their end, because I think it's fueling the fire for our team, which you really don't want to do. I mean, this team's already motivated. It's been motivated. And after winning games like that, it's really hard to change their mindset now. There is nothing, in my opinion, that's going to change their mindset. You already know Al and Mike are cooking up the most. You already know they're trying to make the best game plan possible for these players to go out and execute and win a natty. Like, that's what it comes down to. This team is locked in. The coaches are locked in. They're not going to be looking at any of the numbers, all the analytics. Like, that's all talk until that football's kicked into the air, bro. And I agree with you and Goolsby. Anything can happen. It's football.
Yeah, it's dude, I don't even understand this. James is saying, stop the negativity, please. I have no idea what you're talking about. I spent the last hour, bro, people just hear what they want. I've spent the last hour and 3 minutes saying I'm not counting Notre Dame out, and I like the underdog narrative, and I'm giving Notre Dame a chance to do this. What negativity? I've spent an hour saying I'm giving Notre Dame a chance to pull this off. What are you talking about? Do I live in a different world? What do you mean negativity?
Just trolls, man. Just trolls. It's crazy. Like, it's just ignorance, bro. It's either ignorance or arrogance. It's both. Like, it's freaking everything, bro.
Yeah, man.
People got to understand. They can say what they want to say, but at the end of the day, when they lose, they can't say anything then. So, let them down that hill.
Yeah, this is
played. You don't know.
Yeah, this is listen, man, you can I don't know, man. It's one game. Anything could happen in one game. I keep telling people there's a reason games are played on a field and not a recruiting database. That's all I'm saying. There is a reason you play the games, and you don't just bow down to whatever roster is the healthiest and has the most talent. There's a reason you play the games. So I'm not counting Notre Dame out, but they got to do a lot of things really well to win the game. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. But, hey, listen, I'm glad you guys were all able to be at the game. You got anything else on the way out? Thanks for the call, as always.
Man, I really deep down in my soul feel like we're going to win this game.
Ooh.
It's going to be a war. It's going to be a battle.
Ultimate
but
redemption
I don't
for
see
Freeman.
anybody-
Ultimate.
I don't see any team
Wow.
getting in our way, bro. I don't see any team getting in our way.
Whew.
Freeman's going to beat his alma mater year 3, and he's going to change college football history.
Man, that would be the full narrative. Make the 30 for 30, the full redemption, the whole Marcus 10-minute. It would all come back around. Listen, man, I really appreciate you always being a part of the show, and I'm glad you were able to meet up with my brother at the game. Thank you.
Yeah, bro. Let's get the patty. I'll meet y'all in South Bend. I'll see you in South Bend.
Oh, let's get it. Let's get it. I love that, dude. And he still sounds tired, man. He still sounds worn out. $5 holler from Isaac. I'm an Ohio State fan. Love watching your lives and videos, but I guess I'm the scum of the earth. It's not everyone. I love Kent. I consider Kent a personal friend. I've had some exchanges with him off the air and everything. Kent's an Ohio State fan. Eric Boggs over at the Ohio Pod, he's a close friend of mine now too. Like, there's a few of them. It's just the ones that jumped in here tonight weren't making any sense on what they're saying. But if you donate $5 and you're nice, then you're cool. Dude, I just can't. Look, Freeman looks like that one weird looking Frito in the bag. Number one is everybody I've ever ran into thinks Freeman is like amazing looking and in terrific shape. But the other thing is I can't. It's hard for me to look at. It's hard for me to take seriously you making fun of our head coach who's in perfect physical shape when you have that avatar on the screen. It's just getting to me. I can't. I just can't. I'm sorry, I'm struggling. That's just too much. Tim, what's going on?
Awesome. How you doing, John?
One
more, damn it.
Yeah, what's going on, man? This is
I lived this.
Yeah. Let it rip. Okay. Let it rip.
A lot of things happened in '88.
Yeah.
A lot of things happened in '88 where we couldn't beat them. Straight up, no. But what did Lou Holtz quote after we beat Miami? What won the damn game? The spirit of Notre Dame. That's why I think we have a shot. Everybody count us out. Look what we have freaking done. On paper, no. The injuries, everything. There's no way in hell we should win this game. But we're going to win the damn game, John. We are. I'm an old man. I lived it. I celebrated on that field with the players I knew. We're not losing this. And if we do, then so be it. They gave us a hell of a run. The clowns in your chat. Oh, let's run Marcus Freeman out because he had 10 men on the field. That wasn't why we lost the last time we played Ohio State. No. Look what this man's done. He worked his ass off. He brought the man stock. What did the clown? And you said it. You did a lot of work with Brian Kelly and saying he wouldn't do the work. And he didn't buy it in Notre Dame. Why do you think he wasn't successful?
Yeah, it's yeah, man. I'm not counting Notre Dame out. And I understand the point spread. I have no problem with the point spread. I understand how good Ohio State's look. I'm not counting Notre Dame out. That's all I'm saying is this team's got so much fight and they keep finding a way. It's the last game of the year. You lay it all out on the line and anything could happen in one game. That's as fair as I could be.
And yeah, God love you because you have more talents than I do. Because you put up with a lot of clowns and I couldn't put up with them. You're a better person than I am. You're a better person.
You know what, Tim? This is my 9th football season doing this. You get used to it after a while. I used to respond to every insult on Twitter, spend half the day going back and forth with these people trying to prove them wrong, blah, 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 blah. Like, you just got to pick your spots. And these days, I just laugh at most of it, man. It doesn't get to me that much.
But I get how pathetic is your life? And I don't get, I'm an old man. Why would you ever go to another fan's base and troll them? What pleasure do you get out of that? Do you not have a family? Do you not have any other hobbies? Are you kidding me? I love sports, all sports. What are you doing?
Yeah, it is.
Explain the modern world. You're 40. I mean, and let's not go there. And the other clowns that want us to join the Big Ten, you need to watch the documentary, What Michigan's Done to Us Over the Years. The anti-Catholic thing.
And Tom was right about that. There's so much anti-Catholic thing on this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And ESPN doesn't want anybody that believes in Christ. They wouldn't put. I'm getting great. They wouldn't put Ohio State's quarterback on the stage, because look what our quarterback did. The first thing he said, I want to give the credit to the Lord Jesus Christ. He brought people in to do Bible study. That matters.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be political, but January 20th could be a beautiful day. Half of it's right, but we got to take care of our business. So, I don't know if we will. Maybe they run us off the field. We've got too many injuries. I know you can't get off the information, but if you could send me a text, let me know if we, off air, then let me know how our offensive. Because let's face it, how many are we looking at? The offensive lineman. What else are we looking at? Love. What else? What else is going on?
It's easier to list the guys that are healthy. I don't know, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. You got to fight through it. They've done a good job. You lay it all out on the field one more time. And if Ohio State wins it, they win it, and they have a more healthy and a more top-line roster, fine. I will congratulate them for earning it. But I'm not counting Notre Dame out in this moment. They've done too much.
No, you think I am?
Nope.
No way in hell. Nobody thought we could beat Miami. I know you were never born, but in '88, nobody thought we could beat Miami. No way in hell.
Yeah.
And everything fell in. That's the other thing. The weird thing about this year, you need one lucky game. Maybe Penn State was that lucky game. I mean, I know we lost one game, but back then you couldn't lose a game.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that what your favor ends up, what Freeman did, bring the mask back, that all ties in. I think it does.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then I look like an idiot, and I'll eat it. Fine. They're a better team than whatever. But it was one hell of a run. Did we honestly think after we lost in week 2 that we'd be sitting in the national title game? No.
Yeah, they've done a really good job under very difficult circumstances. And I will also argue this, even at full health, this roster was not what I wanted it to be. Even with full health, I would have been like, yeah, I need more here. I could use more there. And they're not even close to it.
I'd like our chances to win, but okay, if we hit a full roster, I don't care about that, but at 10-point under, no way in hell. If you're sitting with our other shutdown corners in the game.
Yeah, this is, man, it's, Tim, it's just one more, and you roll the dice. You lay it all out there. You do whatever you can.
I'm a bet, and 2, I'm flying to Chicago because, dude, I'll cry for a week. I won't probably sleep for a freaking week.
Yeah,
all right, do you know what your score is going to be? I mean, I want to keep to the 5-minute limit.
Nope.
No cuss words.
Nope, not yet. I have not got. I'm going to get into the week and learn a little more about the injury thing, and then I'll do my score.
Screw the damn job. I just said damn. Screw the damn job. You got to pick Notre Dame. You cannot sell out. You cannot sell out.
Yeah, we've come so far. We've come so far for me to bail on them now.
And if we lose, we lose.
Yeah.
Hell, if we lose, we lose. Who the hell cares?
Yeah.
I mean, realistic, they're so damn arrogant.
Tim, if we pull this off, you get a personal invitation for wherever me and Pat rent out and have a big party. You'll have a personal invitation. You got to be there. Promise me you'll be there.
I'll fly out. Well, I'm assuming it's going to be either in Chicago or South Bend. I'm assuming Chicago. I hope you put in the Chicago area because it's easier to fly into that.
Yeah, wait. Let's just hope. Let's hope we have that problem, Tim. Anything else on the way out? I love the energy, brother.
No, just when. How many shows are you keeping your show scheduled normally this week?
I think so, but I'm probably going to add a few extra things maybe in the evening just because it's such an important week. So I'll have a few surprises.
Well, stay stress-free and God bless, and I'll say an extra rosary for you because I know you're going to need it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, stress-free and John Kennedy. You don't hear those two things in the same sentence often. Angela, it's always good to have a Rudiger in the chat. I don't even know what this means. $2 dollar from Jimmy Page. Can you punch a player, not be kicked out? I don't. Look at this. Thank you for the donation. I'm genuinely hoping that this is meant to be just a hard-fought hit and physicality and nothing more than that, or you're a bad person. So I don't know how to take that. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you just mean like a hard-hitting game or whatever. Otherwise, you're a bad guy. Sean, $5. These two teams are the most Christian teams. ND going to Mass, Ohio State selling Jesus One shirts and having team prayer services. on campus. Thank you very much, Sean. Appreciate you as always. Ryan Day's beard is weird. Change your name. Ryan Day's beard is weird. It's the Natty, and it's just trash talk. No ill will, just having fun. Hope to see you on the Ohio pod with Eric. Dude, Eric's become a really good friend of mine, man. What a nice guy. He is really one of the nicest people, man. I love that guy. And we'll probably be doing some stuff this week. Stay tuned. $5 holler. If Notre Dame wins this Natty, Freeman deserves a statue. 100%, man. Yeah. Every coach in Notre Dame that's won a championship has a bronze statue at an entrance at Notre Dame Stadium. And so here's what I would want. If Freeman pulls this off, I want his statue to be in the same area that Frank's is. You have Frank's on the right side of that entrance. Mirror that and put it on the left side right across from Frank. That would be my pick. Pistol Pete! What's going on, baby?
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's right, Pete. We did it again, man. Against all odds. What though the odds be great or small? Old Notre Dame won overall, and they pulled it off, Pete. What do you think?
Oh, yes, they did, John, and one more. I mean, this would be awesome if they were able to complete it. After all the time we waited all summer for this season to come, we're amongst the last two teams standing, and it would be nice to be the final one standing.
Yeah, it is. It really would be, Pete. And here's another troll from Ohio State. Luke, yes, and Notre shame has never been Northern Illinois in the history of college football. Never, dude. It's just so lame. Like, this stuff is not getting to me. Like, why can't I just write back to you? Why don't you guys lose to Michigan again and make it 4 or 5 or 6 in a row? And that's embarrassing. Like, it just doesn't mean anything. Be more creative with your burns. Please be more creative. Rudy's offsides, like Notre shame. Be more creative. Be smarter. Be witty. Do something creative. Sorry, Pete.
That's all right. Well, first, also, before I came on, my friend Tommy wanted me to say hello to you, who you met at tailgates and autograph signing event.
Yeah.
I also want to give a shout-out to my friends who are new followers of you, Stephanie and Steve in Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
They're hoping to make it maybe to one of your tailgates in the future. Here's one for you. Well, first, to the audience that doesn't know, please explain, what does MFBD stand for?
Michigan Football Brain Disorder.
Okay. Now, for those who are struggling with MFBD, who are they rooting for this week? Because it's got to be a nightmare for them.
Dude, I talked about that early in the show. Those people got to be miserable because no matter what happens on TV, they're going to be super, super mad.
Yeah, which is okay.
Yeah, they're going to be miserable no matter what. Pete, I want to ask you, what do you make of Ohio State being favored, by double digits now? What do you make of, them being a healthier roster than Notre Dame? What do you make of all this? Like you giving Notre Dame a chance, or do you feel like, it's just, this is asking too much this time, or do you think they have one more in them?
With the way, we gutted that game out the other night, the way that, for what we've had to overcome all year, I will not say we don't have a chance. We absolutely have a chance. It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
On paper, Ohio State has more talent, but the game is not played on paper. It only takes one time to win. And I have very much confidence that Marcus will have us ready to play. So I'm not going to say we don't have a shot, because we definitely do have a shot.
Yeah, I just think, man, Pete, they've come too far and battled through too much to get to the championship game, and for people to just bow down and hand the trophy to Ryan Day, that doesn't make sense to me, given all that they fought through and won all the longest winning streak in the country and all this stuff through the injuries. It's not even like you can say this Notre Dame team is hitting on all cylinders, has good injury luck, and like everything. It's not that. They just keep finding a way to win. Now, in the last game of the year, playing for a championship's not the time to doubt they can try and do it again.
Well, here's a question for you, John. I mean, how much do you think Marcus is going to mention to the guys who were on this team last year? Remember how you felt walking off that field after the game against Ohio State.
Listen, Marcus Freeman is doing a good job with this motivation stuff. Ever since Northern Illinois, everything's been a different tone. It came out after the Penn State game. Exactly what I said happened. In the pregame presser, he let Franklin run his mouth like an idiot and played it cool, stayed classy, stayed above the fray, didn't take the bait. Let that guy think he was getting one over and punking Freeman and Notre Dame and Independence and all that. Marcus played it the mature way, and then he went in the locker room or the meeting room and told those guys, we're going to beat this guy's ass. Like, I don't like what he just did. I took the high road in public. Now that it's just us, we're beating this guy's ass. And I love it, man. This guy, Freeman, will make them understand and rewatch the end of that game last year against Ohio State. And they're going to say, not this time. You got to make up for that. Motivation will not be an issue, Pete. Motivation will not be an issue, I can assure you.
Well, and how great would it be if we win, we could say, love the Notre Dame.
Yeah, I like that. It's the always Irish. I got to change it and put a big "the" in front of it. Yeah, man, it is. This is going to be, and Pete, I'm sure you've thought of this too. I do like the fact that there are two Northern old school brand name, Northern cold weather, old school hard nosed traditional football programs in here. I really like that, Pete. There's no SEC. There's none of that Southern BS. And all the talking heads in the SEC were better than everybody. I really like that it's two Northern powers involved in this showdown.
I agree. And of course, I'll have to say this as normal, John. Show that book to the audience, too.
There it is. I always got it. It's always here. Every single time I do a show, it's right there for you.
Well, just to get your thoughts on this, how much would that help those with MFBD if they started reading that book?
Yeah, I don't know if many of them know how to read. So that's going to be a problem that we're going to have a problem with that. I don't think they're going to be into the Frank Leahy stuff, and I don't want them to be. That's our guy. And so, Pete, this is going to be a long, stressful week. I'm not counting Notre Dame out. I totally understand the point spread and the health issue and how good Ohio State's looked. It's just Ohio State should win, but Notre Dame refuses to lose. And does that make sense, Pete? That's how I see it. Like, on paper, Ohio State should win, but Notre Dame refuses to lose. So something's got to give. Something's got to give.
Absolutely. And you know what? Not that there's going to be any problem or struggle with motivation. You think Marcus is going to let him know what the Vegas spread is?
Of
course he is.
Yeah, Marcus is going to, I think they're going to spend some time watching the last few minutes of the Ohio State game. I really, really do. And I think that's going to be the same way they watched the low light film in Northern Illinois playing. They're going to do that with this, and they'll be ready to play. It's just a question of if they could deliver it, but they're going to be ready to play. And I'm not counting Notre Dame out. Anything else, Pete? Thanks for calling.
Well, you were talking about Texas Roadhouse. You can also talk about how the restaurant we've been to, Texas Corral, is a great place to go eat too.
Telling you, man, I like that warm buns, baby. I like them warm buns with the cinnamon bread. Oh, I love it, Pete. I love it. Maybe if we win, we'll go out and celebrate. Have a good weekend, buddy. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, right.
Oh, baby, Pete's a real one. Pete is a real one. We're doing pretty good with our 5-minute each thing. We're moving along pretty good. Everybody's kind of doing a good job of trying. Maybe we're all getting the hint, and at least people are trying to do it a little bit. I appreciate it. Lawrence, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, man? First things first, I have a public service announcement for any and all Notre Dame fans traveling to Atlanta to attend the game next Monday. If you are booking a room in downtown Atlanta, do not, I say again, do not, under any circumstances, book a room at the Barclay Hotel in downtown Atlanta. Speaking from personal experience, I had a press pass to cover
a soccer game in Atlanta over the summer and stayed at the Barclay Hotel and came home with bed bugs.
Ooh.
And like bed bugs that looked like had never eaten before or something, because I had welts all over my body.
Oh, that is
avoid the Barclay Hotel. at all costs.
that is disgusting. That is unfortunate. Thanks for the public service announcement. Any reactions to the Penn State Notre Dame game and looking forward to Ohio State?
Yeah, so the having to have multiple playoff games is, I'm so glad that we are, but also I can't take it anymore. It's too
Yeah.
much for me.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot for your nerves,
you
bro.
Go through you go through the flow of the season, and you always have those games where you can, you're watching, but you can kind of take the game off. Like when you play a 1-11 Florida State team, or like a 5-7 Virginia team or whatever. But like, you have to live and die with every play in these playoff games, and when the margins are so small, it's like I couldn't, like when we picked that final playoff the other night. I don't even think I made a sound. I think I just sat down and was like,
yeah,
oh my God.
You know when it got me, Lawrence? You know what got me? The next day, my body was just dead. It felt like I was in a car accident because my nerves were shattered, bro. Like I felt weak. Like my nerves were shattered and I didn't have my normal energy. Like I was so drained. I just felt like I was just running on empty.
I was in a bunch of different group chats. I was on Twitter, and like I couldn't type. My hands were shaking. I couldn't type very well. And so I was late getting back to people. But I think the most important thing, and it's kind of been a theme for Notre Dame all season, that Marcus Freeman, and this is something that occurred to me the other day, that it's almost an obsession with winning the middle eight, the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half. And, that is what flipped the game against Penn State, was going down and getting 3 points before the half.
And look at in Georgia too. Same thing with Georgia too.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then, you got a field goal right at the end of the half against Indiana as well.
Yep.
And I think Marcus Freeman's obsession with that, and don't get me wrong, I love it, and I say obsession in the best possible way, is that it came from his very first game as a head coach that probably scarred him for life, because I know it did me, was that Oklahoma State Fiesta Bowl game in 2021, where you go up 28-7 with like 42 seconds left in the half, and before you get the ball back, it's a 7-point game. Like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
So I love the obsession with winning the middle eight. Now, like, fast forwarding to Ohio State, it's kind of been touched on already. My favorite thing about Ohio State fans is that they both get very mad when they are the sole topic of discussion in college football, and then they also get very mad when they aren't the sole topic of discussion in college football. It's like you can't win for losing with them, which is hilarious. The blueprint is there to beat them. It's going to be a tall task. Texas could have, and maybe even should have, won that game last night if Texas hadn't lost their minds calling an all-out blitz on a screen pass with 32 seconds left in the first.
Yeah.
Or for some reason calling toss sweep on second and goal at the 1-inch line, instead of putting in Arch Manning. Neither here nor there. Also, not super impressed. Like the 8th Texas game I've watched this year, like 85% of their offense is just throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage, which I don't understand why there's so many people so enamored with that. But anyway, one of the things somebody mentioned, Michigan gives you the blueprint on how to beat Ohio State, and I sort of agree with that, but I sort of don't. And where I'm at with that is that Jim Harbaugh broke Ryan Day's brain when he told Ryan Day, "You were born on third base and you think you hit a triple."
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because it's 100% true. Like, Ryan Day's never had to do anything at any small level school. He just got handed the keys to the greatest car you've ever driven in your life. But I think he feels he has to beat Michigan a certain way. which is why they've looked so different.
that's exactly
in the
what it
playoffs
was.
than they did in that
That's
Michigan
exactly
game.
what it was. They wanted
And-
to tough guy bully ball them when really, if you just throw it around and spread it out, you're going to win.
And I think that also, tying it into Notre Dame, I think Lou Holtz broke Ryan Day's brain a little bit. Not as much as Michigan, because obviously they won the game last year, but Lou Holtz called that team soft. And Ryan Day, in his postgame, wanted to fight a 95-year-old man.
Yeah.
Because they called his team soft. And remember, we had that big 4th and 1 stop. And what did Ohio State do? What play did they run on 4th and 1? They ran a jet sweep. Nothing says we're a tough football team like a speed wide receiver type play. Here's where I have confidence if the game is similar to how it was last year, in that we all remember Ryan Day wanting to fight Lou Holtz is hilarious to me because it distracts from Marcus Freeman now going not knowing how to count to 11.
Yeah.
That game was not lost on that play. The game was not lost on the missed interception earlier in that drive. The game was lost when Jared Parker decided to have Sam Hartman throw the ball on 3 straight plays and save Ohio State their final timeout.
Yeah.
Instead of giving the ball to Audric
that was a
Estime,
problem.
who was averaging it's like they ran it like 3 straight plays to start the drive, and they picked up 2 first downs out of it, and they said, "No, we're going to throw the ball." They'll never expect it.
Yeah, it was a
So
mistake.
I, for one, am not at all sad to see Jared Parker go 2-10 in his first year as a head coach at Troy.
Yeah.
It's I've gotten frustrated with Mike Denbrock at times. He does like to try to show us how big his football brain is. And, there were several times where it's been like 7-yard run, 7-yard run, 7-yard run. Let's start throwing the ball around. Incomplete. Fine.
Yeah.
When it comes down to chips are down, nuts are on the line, I do think I can trust Mike Denbrock to know how to run the game out properly. Like if we have a scenario this year like we did last year where, hey, you've got this awesome running back who they can't tackle all of a sudden, keep giving him the football. I mean, we saw them do it against Georgia. I don't think Riley Leonard threw a pass in the 4th quarter.
Yeah. It's
a tall task.
I'm not counting Notre Dame out. But
No.
you got to do a lot. You got to do a lot of things the right way. Anything else, Lawrence? I want to squeeze a few more in before I get to Goolsby in the all 22.
Just that it's one way or another. It's been a hell of a ride. John, I forgot before I go. Did you know that Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois this year?
Yeah, I did hear
Did you know
about
that?
I did hear about that.
Okay. That's crazy because based on discussion, apparently that's the only game Notre Dame played all season.
Yeah,
was against Northern Illinois, and not these 14 other ones that they won. So
yeah, it's rough.
Northern Illinois aside, it's been a hell of a ride. I've mentioned before how 2017 to 2021 was a lot of fun for me because Notre Dame football had never been that good for that long since I started watching Notre Dame football in 2005. I was in 6th grade, and this has been just a tremendous amount of fun. It leaves me shot to hell at the end of every game, but I'd rather be shot to hell with a couple of big wins than shot to hell with a loss.
Yeah, it's this is a great ride. Hopefully, it's just the beginning. Lawrence, thanks for the call, man. Hit me up later this week before the game.
Yeah, sure thing.
Have a good one, buddy. Thank you very much. WPP, I must have missed this. I forgot all about the Woody Hayes thing with him slugging a player back in the day. For any other school to be a shameful moment. But for OSU fans, they take pride in it. Yeah, I forgot all about that. I truly did. $20 holler from Pilney. ND has Ohio State right where they want him. I hope the spread goes to 2 or 3 touchdowns. Day is at his best when he's a 2 to 3 touchdown favorite. Just ask Michigan. All the pressure will be on Day and none on ND. That's how I'm fine with that. I want that to be the setup. Isaac, $5 holler. Curious, I've heard Notre Dame plays a majority man coverage. You think they play zone mostly this game? It's a good question for Goolsby. I'll talk to him when we break down the film. He's the film guy, and I will get into what will Al Golden try and do. How are they going to approach this? Are they going to trust their guys in man coverage against those great athletes? Or are they going to play more zone? That's a great question for Goolsby when we break down the Penn State film. Here's Jeff. Jeff is an Ohio State genius. Halsey will be asleep before the kickoff. I don't know who Halsey is, but if you're trying to take a shot at our old coach, you should at least know how to spell his name. Hey, I don't know about that old man Halsey. I think he's going to be asleep before the kickoff even happens. That Halsey. Again, you guys are just bad at this. Learn how to troll. Learn how to troll. I like great trolling, but do it right. I don't know about that Lou Halsey. They're going to have to pull him out of the old casket there before the game. Oh, my God. Who's the last coach to win a championship at Notre Dame? I think it was that guy. What's his name? Louis Halsey, if I do recalls in my brain. Unbelievable. Is that an Ohio accent? No, it's a dumb person accent. Whatever you want to take it as, it's a dumb person's accent. That's what that is. The funny part is I only have a couple friends that live in Ohio, and both of them think drunk driving is like a regular night out. I don't understand. I literally have two good friends that are in Ohio, and both of them, for some reason, think drinking and driving is just like a regular weekend. Is that a thing in Ohio? My buddy's like, oh, yeah, I was drinking in the country again, and I flipped another truck. What? Vegas Buckeye kid guy. What does that say about Notre Dame being a 10-point underdog to a soft team? LOL. Half of their team is getting their body parts amputated. What do you not understand? Notre Dame has like 15 in the two deep that are out. What do you not get? I don't know about that Lou Halsey. If we can't do Holtz, we're not trying Parsegian. I don't know who I like. I don't like that era Parmesan guy. Excuses. We don't have two all-American offensive linemen. Is 2 as many as 15? I know math is hard for your type. Can you figure it out? Son of a buck. You guys are intolerable, and you're not good at trolling. Lee, John, you're calling a lot of people dumb tonight. I think you should take a stroll back some of your videos. You've said a lot of dumb stuff. Name it. List it. Name it. What have I said? If there's things that I thought might happen in a football game and they don't happen, that's not a dumb take. That's called doing this for a living. You're not going to bat 1,000. When you do this for a living, you're not going to bat 1,000. But I challenge you on that. What have I said that's that dumb? Everything I say, I really do. I think things out. There's nothing I say that I don't have a rationale or reasoning for. I'm very, very careful about that because I understand anything you put out is out forever. You got to be able to back up what you say. So tell me the stuff. Don't just run your mouth vaguely. Tell me the stuff that I was wrong about that was dumb. Tell me it, and we'll see if it's true. Just being wrong about a take is not a dumb thing. That's you do this for a living. You're going to be wrong sometimes. But I'm very, very careful about this stuff. Try to be anyways. So I'd like to know what you're referencing. I really would. Tony, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, John.
Hey, what's going on, Tony? It's Notre Dame against the world, baby. The Ohio State Bucknuts are out. They're out.
I'm a little upset. You said you only have two friends in Ohio. I live here in Ohio, too, you know.
I think I forgot about that. Actually, you're more family than friends. But your number says Pennsylvania on it. So for some reason, that's why I start thinking that's where you're at. And I forget because you do have a Pennsylvania number.
Yeah, two curses against me. I have a Pennsylvania number, and I live in Ohio.
Yeah.
But at least here in Ohio, you mentioned drunk driving. yeah, it's a state sport, but we also have yellow license plates. They call the party plates, and at least we know who was previously convicted of DUI or DWI or whatever the hell you want to call it. But that's not why I called.
Wait a sec.
I
Wait. That intrigues me. You're saying that if you get convicted of that, you got to drive around with the plate that lets everybody know you did that? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
I like that. I actually really like that public scarlet letter shaming for doing something that could kill innocent people. I actually really love that idea. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's sort of like the scarlet letter.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, they call it the party plate, and at least you know that somebody who might be passing you or cutting you off or running you off the road was previously convicted.
Interesting.
But that's not why I called, and I didn't even plan on calling. I sent you a super chat, and just because I love the show and I love you, but it hurts me that you didn't think I was one of your friends. But
you're in the family. You're in the family.
Nevertheless, what prompted me to call was Tom Frawley. And, most people know I'm a longtime Penn Stater and spent 3 games at Ohio State. And what Tom said about Ohio State fans, or some of Ohio State fans, is absolutely true. I was treated absolutely rudely all 3 times I was in the frickin' horseshoe. It just goes to prove that, if you ever hear the OHIO, it takes 2 adults to spell a 4-letter word. And it's understandable that they are what they are. But I also want to say that I live in Ohio, and I live in a neighborhood that we have 12 villas in our neighborhood. And during the season, and especially during the playoffs, I have had 3 different neighbor couples over for each of the playoff games. And they're all Ohio State fans, but they all, somehow rooted for Notre Dame because they know who we are.
Yeah.
And, but they are good people. There are a lot of good Ohio State fans.
Yeah.
Just like there are a lot of good fans. Just like there are a lot of good fans for every fan base.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Tony, I got to admit, man, I've become really close friends with a few of these Ohio State people, and they're really, really great. Like, there's been a few of them with this show and that I've met in the podcasting space, really, really good people. And so obviously you can't just paint a broad brush to everybody, but I have met some really nice people doing this.
You are correct. And I love my neighbors. They're great people. I'm fortunate. I just moved out here, 12 years ago, 10 years ago. And fortunately I moved into a family that has a special person as part of that family.
Yeah.
Certainly he wasn't part of Notre Dame at that point, but he is now. And, but I will say this. While all these neighbors have joined us for the 3 playoff games, when Ohio State won last night, I sent out the invitation or the non-invitation that there will not be a gathering at this house for this Ohio State game. I'm going to watch this game by myself.
Yep. It's that is totally understandable. Man, I thrive watching Notre Dame games alone. For as social as everyone thinks I am, and as much as I like people and doing all this, I really enjoy watching Notre Dame football alone. It is very healthy for me. I don't want to be rude to anyone else that may be at a bar or at a house party or anywhere else. I do my best work when I'm watching games alone. I need to do my thing, and I don't want to offend anybody else, and I don't want anybody else bugging me. Sometimes I just need a Notre Dame football game. It's not a social event to me. I need to be in my own little world.
And that's what this championship game on the 20th is going to be for me and my darling wife, Marie. And we are going to watch the game sitting here by ourselves.
Yeah.
And the neighbors can all have their TVs on and root for the Suckeyes, and that's fine. Good for them. But they're not going to be here because I'm not going to listen to their bullshit.
Yeah. Tony, God bless you, man. I love you, and you're a part of the family, and you're the first person I thought to call after the post game shows here when the last couple of victories. You're the guy that was on my mind to reach out to, and I appreciate your friendship. I'm glad you're a part of the Always Irish family.
And Johnny, I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you just said and the phone calls. It's just so special that you think of me. I mean, I'm just another guy, Penn State fan all my life, but now a Notre Dame fan and a Marcus Freeman fan. And thank you for that. Thank you for your family. Your mom and dad both reach out to me regularly, and God bless the Kennedys. God bless the Always Irish family, and I love you, brother.
Oh,
Go
thank
Irish.
you. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. If you didn't piece it together, Tony's got a family member who's very intimately involved in everything going on with Notre Dame football right now at the absolute highest level ever possible. So take that for how you want. Piece it together. If you know who he is, you know. Jack Sacco, I'm going to Tony's house to watch the game. Jack, I think you would be invited. You're an exception. You're an exception. Oh man, that's really funny. Oh, that's funny. Jack, you're a real one too, man. You're a real one. Pilney with the $10 holler. ND got to the title game playing so far down their roster, no other team could sustain as many injuries as ND and beat who we beat. Telling you, man, that's that Notre Dame spirit that won that game and all that kind of stuff, man. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, you guys, I got to start winding this down. I got to get going. I got to flip over at 10 over to the Patreon so Goolsby can break down the defensive film, and we make sure we get that out for you guys on Patreon, and he breaks down every defensive play. I want to thank everybody for being here. A lot of good energy. I sincerely do not mind, and I welcome all the Ohio State people to come in here for all of this buildup. Feel free to come in here. I just ask, I want you to be creative if you're going to come in here and push me. If you're going to come in here and push my buttons, if you're going to come in here and try and stir things up, I just want you to be creative. So Lou Halsey is a bad one. You know, Rudy was offsides is a bad one. Notre lame. Like, you guys got to give me more to work with. You got to give me more to work with. You got to give me more to work with, please. So I love the Ohio State people being in here. I just want you to be creative with what you're saying. I need your trolls to be creative. I love a good troll job. That's the thing about me. Unlike other shows in this niche, I don't just block everybody who's annoying or comes in here and says something stupid. I like engaging in some of that. I have fun with it. But you got to give me something creative to work with. Give me something I can laugh at. Son of a buck. Give me something, Ohio State people. Can't get your people going. Give me something to work with. I love opposing fan bases in here, but give me something to work with. All right. I'm going to get over to Patreon with Goolsby. We're going to break down this film. And, but I love this community. I love you guys, man. Even you guys talking crap. I love it. It's just great, man. This is college football at its best. I sincerely mean it. I'm really glad it's two Northern old school power helmets here in north of the Mason-Dixon line. And we don't have any of this Southern SEC crap, supremacy crap. I like the fact that it is two old school helmets in cold weather. I love all that stuff. All right, you guys. Patreon coming out later, probably, I don't know, midnight something. Irish Cole says, I waited all this time for nothing. So did 30 other people on hold, man. I do the best I can. Like, I'm not perfect. There's 50 other people that waited. Like, I do the best I can to make through, to get through and, put the people up that donate a lot of regular money. Like, I try, man, that donate regular money. I try to my best, but I got like 50 people. dude, look at this. It's just, you guys are just small-minded. John, y'all suck ass. Notre Dame sucks. I don't have to be creative. Dude, you're so boring. This is just a boring take, man. Be better, be smarter, be more creative. Learn something. I don't know. Do something different. I'm not impressed. All right. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for the calls. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I really, really do appreciate it. You guys are great, man. And I really don't mind the trolls all that much. But everybody have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your night. I got a video for you first thing in the morning. And then we'll go from there. And we'll be live on the Monday morning show as usual. We'll see how many Buckeye fans are there. All right. Have a good one, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.